Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. Silver falls while gold rises. But why? Well, let's explore. Though not unprecedented, it certainly is something that's a bit unusual, I would say, to see gold rise in price and silver to fall at the same time. It makes you wonder, makes you question what is going on to cause such activity in the markets. Well, this kind of occurred relatively late in the day, and so there's not a whole lot of analysis on it, but I do have some speculation, and there's one piece that has been written as the day kind of has gone on here that talks a little bit about this. So very interesting indeed to see that silver has essentially failed at the $28 level. It came very close, but then it kind of pulled back. For those of you who are aware, I do a Sunday night market watch, the only channel to cover the markets as they open in Asia, specifically Hong Kong, and we watch the prices move upwards for both gold and silver, and kind of speculated that perhaps we could see silver break that psychological barrier of $28 an ounce. As you know, last year we did see silver prices increase fairly dramatically. It did not break any records for sure, but they did rise to almost $30 an ounce. So there is a bit of psychology at play here in the markets. But when you think about it, it makes you wonder if there's something larger at will here or at play. And it certainly is fine to question such a thing. In fact, many people have, and they speculate that there is massive price suppression and that what has occurred here may be a part of that. A suppression by essentially a cabal of the big banksters, specifically targeted to silver, even more so than gold. And this may be one of those days that that could have occurred. However, especially with what's going on and with J.P. Morgan and other banks being caught red-handed with spoofing and manipulation of prices, both to the upside and the downside, I kind of doubt that's at play. But most of you know that I am a skeptic when it comes to such a wide conspiracy. Nonetheless, it is interesting to see the movements today in gold and silver prices, with an ever-increasing ratio widening to 67.31, as silver is trading down over a half percentage point, and gold up almost a third of a percentage point. So it is interesting to see that movement and activity. I will say that there is the same thing has occurred between the platinum group metals, whereas palladium has risen over a percentage point, up $33 to near record highs again at over $3,000 an ounce. And platinum is down $5, and so it's at $12.52. So why has that occurred on that end? That is another question that I believe leads to more natural market forces at play to cause a despairing price differentials between the platinum group metals. But they are relatively somewhat independent in that regard, but they do follow each other as well. Most of these precious metals do in the markets. They kind of follow each other in terms of their price movement structure. So we're going to kind of see what exactly is going on with silver here. There is an article that was posted late in the day talking about this. Silver markets fail at $28 from FX Empire. And I think this really is as simple as it gets. Silver markets, initially tried to rally during the trading session on Monday. We saw that late Sunday night, along with gold, but gave back the gains near the $28 level. This $28 level is an area that has been important more than once, so it is not a huge surprise to see a little bit of selling in this general vicinity. There's these target levels for price movements and technical analysis and to where things go as to what happens and where the prices will be a launching point for further gains. And so at that point, people thought it was a good time to sell. But the author of this article thinks that that this is a market that will find buyers to push higher, but we may need to pull back in the short term in order to do so. And that is kind of the thought process behind why this activity has occurred with silver falling. In times like this, you do see sort of that differential between gold and silver, and they have kind of removed themselves. Hence, why the gold to silver ratio is still fairly high. And I do think that close to 70 in a gold to silver ratio is unusual in the overall span of precious metal markets out there. And so that's why I've always been of the mindset that sometimes they can act independently of each other. And obviously, it's noteworthy that silver is a much more volatile metal. But nonetheless, it is something to keep in mind. And also, for those of you who are putting your money into this metal, whether it be in the ETFs or in the physical form, I actually love the physical form much better than the paper form of these metals. I think it's a good idea to diversify your portfolio with gold in the precious metal sector, especially physical gold, in times like this. And I think that's one reason why I've made that move. But nonetheless, with the volatility in silver, the gains that could be seen, if it's consistent enough, you could do quite well with silver too. But I believe in wealth preservation as the ultimate low risk, and whereas the least amount of risk, I think, for precious metal sector, it's gold, without a doubt, hands down. It's the most safe of the assets out there for wealth preservation. But silver is going to continue to react and go against the grain for psychological factors that come into play with a little bit of selling that has caused this decline in the prices. Now, what is the motivation behind that selling? Well, I think it's psychology. Others may interpret it as spoofing, maybe perhaps, and done in a more clever way with high-frequency trades. Who knows? And obviously, if you have one or two big banks that are doing it, I could see how that could be a problem with intraday trading, or even within a week to do it, or what have you. But nonetheless, we've seen examples of it from J.P. Morgan moving the price up and down for multiple numbers of years to profit off of these trades. And to me, that kind of thing should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But nonetheless, if the price goes down and provides a buying opportunity, they are doing us a favor for those of us who understand the fundamentals of silver. And in the end, that's where we all agree, is the fundamentals of silver. But nonetheless, for silver to go down and gold to rise, it's something that has happened in the past and will happen in the future, though it is a bit unusual. And so we'll see how it plays out, but thought it was very interesting to see that activity, especially in the late trading day here. Thought I'd do a little video about this topic here. So there you have it. But nonetheless, silver, it is what it is, and it always will be what it will always be. And its physical properties, and as it's serving as a hedge against economic instability, that's what it's all about. And so that's why I'm a fan of silver and continue to hold it. I typically don't sell this shiny metal. I just kind of hoard it. I kind of take a look at it. And so, yeah, there you go. Now, if I have to sell it, I will. But I think it's one of those metals that essentially, well, it'll sell itself. If I need to sell it, it'll sell itself. I'll get what I'm going to get for it. More on that in another video about what you can get for your silver in due course. But nonetheless, it's a metal to enjoy. And remember that no matter what the price does, it won't do it for very long in terms of it going down. In other words, we could see another bear market in silver like we did in recent years for a number of years. But I believe we're kind of over the sub $20 silver level. I would be very surprised if it got below that level, which means that no matter where it plateaus, it will be probably higher than $20. So if you bought in the late 2000 teens when it was $17, $16, $18, well, you're doing fairly well right now, I would say. Hold on to it. But nonetheless, there is that possibility that could see a cycle of complacency or stagnancy, really. But, it could also certainly be wild in its movements in price as well, especially with what's going on with the new Green Deal or some variation of it, with a huge spike in demand for industrial uses. Those are the kind of things that I think are going to come to play probably sooner rather than later, which is why I've been fairly bullish on silver for 2021. In fact, I stand by my prediction of hitting $30, between $30 and $35 an ounce this year. Now, don't hang your hats on my prediction. I don't take my predictions very seriously. It's just a hunch on my part. We'll see what happens, but I am bullish on silver, so we shall see where it goes. I'm bullish on it because no matter what happens, this Federal Reserve note is going to continue to fall in value by design and by basic economic laws. This thing is doomed for depreciation. It will continue to fall in value, even though its price remains the same. And so what do we do to protect against the falling of this? Well, we get this, even if it falls from time to time. It's okay if it falls. We know it'll always be what it is because of its intrinsic historic value. When this falls, well, we know it becomes that much more worth less. And that's just what it's about. It's not that it's worthless, it's worth less than what it was. That's why we hold gold. That's why we hold silver. And we will continue to do that because we know the fundamentals are strong. And we'll continue on. So I hope you found this video insightful and useful. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, please share, please comment, and please, for the love of all that is insane in this world, subscribe!